Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to dive into a topic that's been taking the internet by storm, Web 3.0. Now, if you've been following the buzz around crypto, blockchain, and NFTs, you might have heard someone claiming that Web 3.0 is the future of the internet. It's being sold as a way to decentralize everything and shift power away from the big tech companies like Facebook, Google, and Amazon. But is this thing really the next step in the digital revolution? Or is it just another overhyped bubble designed to make the rich even richer? Stick around as we're gonna break down the facts and see if Web 3.0 is as really as revolutionary as its proponents claim. Spoiler alert, it's not what you might think it is. Let's start with a little background. The internet as we know today is based on what we call Web 2.0. It's a version where social media dominated companies like Facebook, Google, and Amazon hold the most power. Web 1.0, which was the early days of the internet, was basically a static collection of web pages. You could read contents. There was little but not too many interactivity. Then came Web 2.0, which introduced a user-generated content, social media, e-commerce, and the internet as we know it today. It's where platforms like Facebook and Twitter came into play, giving us a way to connect, share, and shop. But now we're being told that Web 3.0 is going to be the next big thing, a shift that will empower users instead of corporations. On the surface, this thing sounds amazing. Instead of being at the mercy of tech giants, Web Design 3.0 promises to give power back to the users, using a blockchain technology to create a decentralized internet. This means that your data, your identity, and your assets wouldn't be owned by a single company or controlled by a centralized authority. You'd have control over everything. But here's the thing, while this might sound good in theory, even communism sounded good in theory, when you look deeper into the current Web 3.0 hype, things start to look a little more questionable. Okay, let's talk about NFTs for a second. When NFT first hit the scene, they were built as a way to prove ownership of a digital art. A digital token attached to a piece of art that says, hey, I own this. But here's where things get muckery. NFTs are essentially just data stored on a blockchain, a public ledger that anyone can access. The real question is, why do you need a blockchain to prove ownership of anything that could be easily be stored in a regular database? NFTs started with art, but before long people were attaching them to everything. Music, videos, even tweets. But what is an NFT really? It's an artwork in and of itself. It's a receipt. It's just a piece of data that says, hey, I own this thing on the blockchain. Sure, you can sell the NFT to someone else, but the thing is, majority of the time the NFT doesn't really come with the right to original assets. It's like buying a framed piece of painting, but you're not actually buying the painting itself. But here's a question of the use cases. Why is it so important that we put everything on the blockchain? Sure, it might sound like a cool idea, but what actual problem are we solving? Take real estate, for example. People were saying that blockchain could be the future of property transactions, but here's the thing. Real estate already works fine with just using traditional systems. Adding a blockchain there really doesn't change anything, it just complicates things. The same goes for medical records, legal documents, or even college degrees. There's no need to put all of these things on the blockchain, but people keep pushing it because it sounds revolutionary. The truth is, blockchain and NFTs don't magically fix the problems these industries faces. In fact, it makes things a lot more complicated and expensive. Let's talk about one of the most hyped use cases in Web 3.0, play-to-earn games like Axie Infinity. The game was sold as a way for players to earn money while they play. The idea was simple. You breed, collect, and battle creatures called elixirs, and earn tokens called SLP, which could be traded in for real money. It sounded amazing, right? Until it didn't. The game turned quickly into a pyramid scheme. In order to play, you needed to buy 3 Axie NFTs. As the price of Axie soared, many couldn't afford to buy in, so they started renting out Axies. People became managers, lending their Axies to others in exchange for a cut of their earnings. Players in countries like the Philippines and Venezuela saw it as a way to make money, and for a while it worked. People were making thousands of dollars a month just by playing the game. But here's the problem. The value of the SLP token was used to earn money in the game, cashed by 99% from its peak. The system was entirely dependent on a constant flow of new players and fresh money. And when that dried up, so did the profits. And what happened to the people who were hoping to make money from this? Well, many were left with worthless tokens and empty wallet. The pyramid scheme of the nature of Infinity Axie wasn't one-off. It's just a common issue with many of these earn to play video games. People from developing countries are jumping in not because they love the game, but because they were desperate for a source of income. It's essentially a way for creditors at the top to profit, while those at the bottom are left with nothing when the value crashes. It's just about losing money. It's about people's livelihood being destroyed, all in the name of Web 3.0. So where's all this money coming from? Is this not about people buying NFTs or playing games, or big players behind Web 3.0 are massive venture capital firms like Anderson or A6Z? These guys are investing billions of dollars into 3.0, bettering the idea that blockchain and crypto are the future. They say it's about social, cultural, and technological change, but here's the kicker. A16Z is the same firm that founded Web 2.0, giants like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So while they're pushing the idea that Web 3.0 will decentralize power, they're really just repeating the same playbook and they used for Web 2.0. Get in early, hype the product, cash out before things implode, and that's exactly what's happening with a lot of these crypto projects. They're being inflated by speculation and hype, with venture capital firms cashing out and leaving retail investors holding the bag. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that blockchain or crypto doesn't have potential, but the way that things are currently being unfolded in the 3.0 space feels like a financial bubble. It's built on the same speculation, frankly, that led to the 2008 financial crisis. You see, while 3.0 is being sold as a democratizing force, the reality is that most of the money and the power is centralized in the hands of few large players. Just like the Web 2.0, the dream of decentralization is being co-opted by the very few people who created the central system we're trying to escape. So is the Web 3.0 the future of the internet, or is this just another scam in disguise? Right now it's hard to say. It certainly has some potential, but for now it just looks like more like another speculative bubble, one that could leave regular people holding the bag, and when the whole thing comes crashing down. What do you think? Is Web 3.0 the future, or is this a financial bubble built on empty promises? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to give us a like and hit the subscribe button for more contents on tech, finance, and the digital world. See you next time. Bye bye.